Hey guys, so me and Godwin have been super busy, and although it's quarantine and we are very much quarantining, we have a very busy schedule every day that we are staying on top of. But there was a little schedule change recently, so we're just getting used to it. But basically, consistently busy. I am making this in like a very short time frame that I have because we just don't have time anymore to do things like that. But gonna try my best to get back to making videos. It is the hottest day it's been here so far. It feels hotter than summer usually is, and it's not even June, so that worries me because I cannot be in heat very much now, and it is really hot. I was outside for a little bit. I go in and out basically to just, get that fresh air. They're all doing water guns outside, super fun. But basically this video is about, I just want to set some things straight just because I've had people talk to me about things, and I've had people ask me so many questions, and a lot of them are the same questions over and over again. As well as I'm here to clear up some rumors that other people have started spreading and saying about us. Because I usually don't do videos like this. I honestly usually just ignore things like this, but I've had a really hard time with it. A few of the things that have been said, so I just wanted to go over the things that have been said. And yeah, so the first thing I want to go over is school. So a lot of people have been talking to me about school and whether I have finished school or whether I have not. And this is what happened. So it was in my last year, and that was going fine, and I was set to finish on time, according to my time frame that I had. But I did not finish school due to the pandemic, not due to the baby. So a lot of people are saying that I dropped out of school because of the baby, that I just immediately, that was the decision that was made instantly. People are saying that it's very sad that I didn't consider it, that I didn't think about just going with school anyways and finishing. That is not an option during a pandemic. So I'm not in a program that allows me to just do online school. We have placements, and we have to finish those placements in the hospital. Where I live, they are not allowing students in the hospital unless you have graduated or were in your final placement. So I was in my second last placement when the pandemic started hitting, and I already knew I was pregnant. I was going to placement, I was going to classes right before everything went on lockdown. Even though that was extremely difficult just because there were 6 a.m. classes that I had to get up at 6 a.m. for 8 a.m. classes. Well, not even that I had to get up, I had to leave my house at 6 a.m. to get to class at 8 a.m. because I have to commute. And I would finish at 6 p.m. They were night class went from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. so I wouldn't get home till 8 p.m. So I had such a short time frame to study, to eat, etc. But when you're in my early stage, my first trimester, I was extremely exhausted. I had some sickness, but just due to a vitamin that I didn't know for a week. So a week I was sick until I switched off of it. But I was extremely exhausted. That was the worst side effect that I had. It was something I've never felt before, being so tired. I could sleep all the time, no matter how much sleep I got. If I slept on the weekend, I would sleep all day. I was extremely tired, and nothing would satisfy it. No amount of sleep would. And so waking up so early, getting so little sleep was really damaging to me because I was already so exhausted from my first trimester. So that took a huge toll on me, just because my grades they didn't drop heavily, but there was a slight noticeable difference. Obviously my profs knew, incredible people. They were really supportive, offering anything they could to help, in terms of moving dates around that would help me be able to study in a way, just because they knew I was also commuting so far, which was great. But then I did faint a couple of times as well on my way to school. So that started becoming an issue, just because at a placement I cannot be fainting during a placement. It is just like not safe to the patient nor to me. So that became a concern as well, but I would just really monitor myself at the placement, as would my instructor, and if I ever felt like I need to sit down, that's just what I did, and that was fine. But then as I was talking to my advisor about a lot of things that I was going through, it was just a really hard time. I was definitely like having depression with my pregnancy, super difficult. But she was telling me how this is when like the virus was slowly starting to come, and we had a few cases already. She was saying that if it does spread like it has in other countries, then the placement will be canceled and no one would finish anyways, and the next semester placement wouldn't finish either. So she told me to take a break earlier rather than stay a couple more weeks and have it canceled. So with her saying that and everything I was going through, it was just something, it was a very hard decision. Even with that, I was very upset about it. I had no intention of ever taking a break, but given like the circumstances with the pandemic, it was just what had to be done. And then I took a break 2 weeks after I took a break from school. So I'm taking a year break and then I'm going back. But 2 weeks after I made that decision, the pandemic was like, it was called a pandemic, and therefore that's when they immediately called students out of hospitals and they were no longer able to finish their placements. Certain students who had extra hours from other things were able to finish, but other students who did not have the opportunity to were not. So that's done. And then the summer semester that was supposed to occur was canceled entirely. So regardless, I would not have been done school right now. I would not have been done school in August because of the pandemic. And yeah, that is what is happening. It is nothing to do with really me being pregnant. There is a pandemic and that is what happened. I wish I had school online. I find school online way easier. I've always preferred online school. Every time I have a chance to do online school, I do it. But for placement, it is not possible, and a lot of our courses are also not possible online. So that's what I want to address with school, because it was a really hard decision and it took a lot on my mental health, honestly, because I really did not want to stop. But next thing I want to address is social media and bullying with social media and what is going on with that. So we had some people talking to some of our really close friends about how we're posting an excessive amount about being pregnant, or that we're talking about it too much. We both do not consider that we have posted a lot, nor is there ever a lot or little you can post about something when it is your own social media. I think that if someone has an issue with what they're seeing, they do not need to follow you. Nobody's being forced to follow one another. So that's a big one. Don't even know what is being said. If you don't like what I'm posting, don't like what Godwin's posting, don't follow us. It's just like that. We post about our lives. We post what we do. We post who we are. That's just what we do. If you don't want to know that we are expecting a child, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's something we wanted to share with our friends on social media because they're our friends, and that's a huge thing going on in our life right now. So we wanted to just let people know that what was going on and what we were going through, and we'd rather do it sooner than just when it's already here, like, oh hey, by the way, we had this. because it's not a secret. We are very excited. We wanted a baby together. We cannot wait for this baby. So that's a big one. So the people that have been saying some things have really gotten into my head and Godwin's head, mainly my head, and have really hurt our feelings in terms of these were people who we thought were our friends. They were people who we thought were supportive. Then they said these things about us, and it just, yeah, I didn't expect it, that's for sure. So, but basically what happened was people were saying that we were using hashtags to gain fame. We were posting we posted that we were pregnant to gain fame, things like that, which is inaccurate entirely. On Instagram, I posted as a way to tell my friends and family rather than messaging that many people at one time. And my friends and family are on social media, and same with Godwin's, and that is the way we want to tell the people that we appreciate in our lives. And sure, we have some people that aren't like close friends or something that did not need to know in a way, but again, they follow us, that is their decision. And regarding hashtags, so we use a lot of social media as a way to talk about traveling, a way to show traveling, a way to give tips on it as we travel often. We do it like tips and stuff and hacks. We are gonna start doing parenting tips and pregnancy tips because that's our life now, and that's normal. We're not doing anything for fame. We just enjoy doing it. And I personally have seen a lot of videos on pregnancy. Godwin's watching a lot of videos on parenting. So when we start going through our own things, we want to give the tips and things that we come up with to other people, just like they did to us. And that's what that is. So not sure why some people have been saying that when they themselves use hashtags. So hashtags are a way for people to find you who are looking for that topic. So for example, pregnancy, let's say I do hashtag pregnancy. I looked up hashtag pregnancy to read and learn more about it because I'm going through it right now. So that's the same for other people who are going through the same situation. It has nothing to do about fame. It is literally to help other people. Same with traveling. I search up traveling hashtags when I want to learn more about traveling. And then I follow certain people who I think give me that benefit that I need. And so we were just really hurt that the people who claim they were our friends were saying things like this, and they were also doing it behind our backs. And we just want to address that, you don't need to follow someone, but you don't need to say these kind of things because it will get back to them. And that's just a general message to everybody. Like, just be careful because you don't know what someone's going through. And yeah, I was going through a really rough time when I heard these things, especially just with pregnancy. You're already going through so much emotions and so much change with everything, with not even just your body, but like mentally. And so it takes a huge toll on you. And I had a really hard time with this when I heard about it. But I'm lucky, and I have really great friends that have been checking up on us, who have been asking about our appointments, who have been asking how Godwin's doing, because he too needs support, which people tend to forget. They've been asking how I'm feeling, how the baby is. They are great friends, and I admire all the friends who reached out to us consistently, who always ask about the appointments, because it means so much when they ask how the appointments go. Just because appointments during a pandemic have been the hardest thing as well we've been going through with our first pregnancy. So thank you to the people who have been incredible with that. I understand that some people are dissatisfied in their own life, and that's something I heard on a podcast, and they tend to say things about other people's lives because they're dissatisfied in their own life. And that's something I heard on a podcast, and I think it's so important to bring up that, yeah, if you're dissatisfied in your own life, like, maybe seek some sort of assistance or maybe change something in your own life rather than going and hurting someone else's or judging someone else's decisions or their lives, because it's not yours and you should focus on your own first. So definitely, if you're ever dissatisfied, there is people to talk to and there's stuff to do that you can change that. Another thing I want to bring up is age. So we've actually had no negative comments regarding age, but I've had someone else reach out to me on social media about them having negative comments about their age, and they're a year younger than me, and I just think that's really hurtful, just because age does not define your parenting, does not define how good of a mother or how good of a father you will be. Obviously there is a little slight, if you're really young, like 14, then you need help, you need help with the baby. You would most likely not be able to do it alone. Some people can though, but most people would need assistance because you are a kid at that point. But when you hit 18, even 16, a lot of people mature when they get pregnant or mature before that. It all comes down to you and where you are in your life. And when you're in your 20s, I think at any age in your 20s, it is very appropriate to have kids, regardless of when, if you're in your early 20s or late 20s or mid 20s. It is entirely up to you where you are in your life, what you want in your life, and it is a decision you are making. And I have been ready to have a kid for quite a few years now. Godwin's entirely ready. I don't think it's an issue at all. And I think that age is just a number. It's really what you do about it and how you decide to raise your kid. And that has nothing to do with age. There are people who are 30 when you're supposed to have a kid and they do worse than a person who's 16. It has nothing to do with that. It is about the research you do, the efforts you make, being ready financially, being ready this and there. Someone who's 30 might not be as financially ready as someone who's 20. Everyone has different lifestyles, everyone has different jobs. Some people who are 30 aren't ready to put their baby first, whereas some people are 20 are, and that's, again, it can go vice versa as well, but it is entirely up to you, and no one should be judged for that. So that just hurt me that someone said that they were, and I have been lucky that I haven't been, but I'm sure we will, just because we also look a lot younger than we are. We don't look like we're in our 20s sometimes, but I mean, that just benefits us in the long run. But yeah, Godwin and I have been as happy as can be. We have literally been so excited. We have prepped so much. He's reading a first-time parenting book. I'm reading a couple parts to it, mostly about things that I don't know a lot about, but I want to, like breastfeeding, things like that. But it is incredible to see him like loving it. Like, he enjoys reading this book and then he tells me things he's read about. It's great. He listens to a podcast on things and I love it. We listen to some videos together, we watch some videos together, and also just like talking about it is incredible. We are so excited, and he has been great, and we cannot wait to spend our lives together with our new addition. But this is a little longer than I expected the video to go, but yeah, basically I just wanted to wrap up and to say I made this video just to warn people to be careful what they say on social media and what they say to other people, because it will go back to that person you're talking about. And again, you don't know where they are, you don't know what they're doing in their life, you don't know anything about their life. And if you ever want information about somebody, go to that person themselves. So if you ever have any questions about our lives or what we're doing or anything regarding our child, or if we're ready, etc., please ask us, because we have no problem talking about it. We are extremely ready, and we are very excited to welcome our baby. And I hope that people take from this and learn and don't do it to somebody else, because I was really hurt. And yeah, it takes a toll on your mental health when you've already got a toll on your mental health from a lot of other things, and then you have that added to it. So, but we know who is our supporters, and we know who's around, and we cannot wait for them to meet our baby as well when that time comes. But thank you for watching, and hope you all take from this. And thank you again for those who are incredible and supporting us and helping so much with everything, and just talking to us about things. We appreciate you guys. You know who you are. And yes, thank you. Bye guys.